Great.
Cool.
We're all good?
Well, happy to have Tyler, or happy for him to have us at their office.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, if you want to just start out by telling us a little about Gobi.
Sure. Gobi is Gobi's an app. It's something that was born out of this experience that, well, Shri is sitting right over there. You can't see him in camera, but Shri and I had some time off. We traveled the world for a year and realized that it's still really hard to figure out what to do, and to go out and find good places to go, to find events to go to find friends when you're traveling. It's still just not easy to figure this out. And there's a million apps to try to find this, but no one seems to be really nailing it. And so that's what we're setting out to solve, is to try to solve that problem. So we have a map. The map shows places, events, and your friends all in one place. We have an LLM that both has enriched all of these things to make it amazing. You can see what to order, you can see what's really cool about an event, and you can also get curated plans to figure out if you want the perfect weekend. So that's what we're building at Gobi, and it's super exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if you want to start, how did you guys start off with testing? Did you start off with manual testing? I know you ended up on Maestro for a while.
Yeah.
Did you start with that, or how did you get there?
Well, a super brief journey of our tech stack. We actually started as a Next.js app. Then we moved to Capacitor, and then we migrated to React Native, and then, of course, as I just was talking about, now we're kind of migrating to native. Once we finally got into a state where we were a React Native app, we wanted to actually get some real legitimate end-to-end tests. We did a bunch of research, but honestly, I usually just rely on Expo's docs. I was telling you this, and Expo's docs say, use Maestro. It used to say Detox, but they dropped that, and now it just says Maestro. So I'm Expo knows what they're talking about, so we use Maestro. We set it up. I was really excited about it. They have a website that I think looks compelling. It was painful in the beginning, but I think that any company has to go through a little bit of pain setting up a true end-to-end system, because you got to set up the account provisioning. You got to make sure an environment can support it internally at your company. So once you get the basic infrastructure set up for being able to run end-to-end tests, which we finally did with the help of my amazing engineers, we were running the tests. Point and click, click this button, assert that the text is this, do this interaction, make sure it does this. And we got, actually, I talked to the team and I was like, it is so easy to write Maestro tests. Anybody can do it. And then I hosted a meetup at the company. We had an all hands where everyone's going to write tests. We had a 2 hours block where everyone's going to write Maestro tests. And we went from 6 tests to 13 tests. And that's it. We only had 13 tests by the end of that, because it wasn't that easy to write the tests. And by the end of that 2 hours, we had 13 flaky ass tests. And we had to maintain those tests for, it never ended. It kept being flaky.
What was the main cause of the flakiness? And were you able to address some of it, or was it just a never-ending rabbit hole?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Sure. So we did figure out. So, and I gave that talk, and one of the main things, and I was thinking about this, I really preach to everybody. Kent Dodds talks about his testing philosophy in React Testing Library, which is you should test the app as if it's used. And that makes sense. You don't want to test on test IDs. You want to assert on things the user would see. So you assert on text, or you assert on this button is here, because that's what a user would see. And so that's what we did. The problem is that we move so fast, and we don't run the tests on PRs, because it's just not, when you're building a mobile app, it isn't, for us, it's not really feasible to be building the app and then running the tests on the app and waiting an hour for everything to finish running.
It takes a while.
It's expensive, but mostly it just takes super long. We finally got all of our stuff down to 2 minutes, and there's just no way we can get end-to-end tests running in that. So we do it nightly. So we run our tests nightly, and we would do a bunch of stuff. Even people that aren't engineers, designers can go in and they can change colors, they can change copy. Oh, we want to be workshopping this. We're a startup that moves fast. And since we're asserting on text in a button, the moment that text changes, which it does often, all of a sudden the tests start failing.
Yeah.
So we have to go in and figure out why. If we move a little piece, actually this was the biggest pain in the ass. We introduced a little banner announcing that we had a new feature. And we have this container, right? And the way the tests work is, sorry, I don't know if you can see this with the camera. This is not the best way to illustrate this. Okay, great. We have this container and there's elements in here, right? And so we're like, click on one of these things and then do something. But then we put this banner right here announcing that there's a new feature. And the tests with Maestro were trying to click on the thing, but it was now down here, and then it was hitting those bottom tabs that you saw, those floating bottom tabs.
Right.
Which was fucking all of the tests up. And so trying to get a Maestro test, we actually spent a full day trying to get it to point, drag, and then pull a sheet up and then scroll to a position where it could find something was super painful.
Yeah.
And so we had this experience where like at some point we caught one bug, or I don't know, maybe it was like 3 bugs in like 4 months of using Maestro. And we spent, you can talk to him, we spent hours maintaining these tests. Days maintaining these tests.
Yeah.
So it was painful.
How many times do you think you ended up fixing tests as opposed to actually catching a bug? If you had to count. I know it might be a lot.
I think it was like 3 bugs that we caught and I think we had to fix over 50, 60, 70 test failures.
Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. Well, so how'd you end up finding us? Or what drew you to our approach, I guess, is what I should ask.
Okay, so the journey continues where we decide to stop asserting on like labels and time. Like we just can't test the app the way it's supposed to be tested. We have to test with test IDs.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have to
remember when we first talked, you told me that you had a rule on your engineering team.
We did.
Every single end-to-end test has to use
test ID.
And every single element in the app has to have a test
Which
ID.
made me want to die inside, but I was like, it has to be this way.
Yeah, and you were very adamant about it.
And everybody else was on board. They're like, yeah, I mean, that's how the world works. You have to have test IDs.
Because your problem was that you were changing the text of your app, right? And then your test would just break if you didn't have an ID underlying.
Exactly.
To hold the element.
And also, it's just because we move so fast and so many engineers are changing so many things, at least if you see that there's a test ID somewhere, at least you kind of are like, oh, this is probably getting tested. Or at least it would even tip off to Claude, this thing's probably tested. So then I built a whole workflow that tried to, like, in a review step, figure out if you were going to break the test, but the whole thing, like, was jank and didn't work. So anyway, to fast forward, Shri found you guys. I think he saw you in Bookface, and I just saw one day that I was in a Slack channel with, it said Autosana, and I was like, what is this? I have no idea what's going on here. And Shri's like, no, I think these guys are cracked. You got to check it out. So I was like, all right. I mean, a recommendation from Shri goes a long way. So we sat down. I had it as a task, actually, that like someone was going to do it, and then I was just like, fuck it, let's just do it live. So we sat on a call, I think.
Yeah, we got on a call at
we just set the whole thing up in like
night, right?
10 p.m.
Something like that.
Stayed up till like midnight.
Yeah.
That's when I found out that you stay up late and don't sleep.
Yeah.
And we set it up.
I remember we got on a call and I was like, all right. I think you at first said you wanted to ask some questions, and then we talked for a little bit about like your approach.
Yeah.
And like I said how I disagree with the element ID approach.
Yeah.
And you were like, dude, you know what? Let's just try to set this thing up. You got time? Yeah. I was like, I'll be up.
Yeah.
So we
it was actually like
it was like set it up right there.
This
right?
task was assigned to someone else, and I was like, I can't wait. Actually, if I have to be honest, like if Maestro was working, we wouldn't have moved. Mm-hmm. If it was working fine-ish. I mean, but it wasn't. Like if it was, it would be fine. It wasn't at all. Like we were desperate because our app still wasn't tested, and we were spending so much time maintaining these things. So we were coming from a point of desperation that we needed tests and we needed something that wasn't going to be an absolute nightmare. And so we set it up, and I think I was a little skeptical at first until I saw it working. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is kind of fire.
How long do you think it took you to get from being skeptical to being like, yeah, this could actually work?
I think before we set it up, I had no idea whether to trust this or not, because I think when you have, the biggest point of skepticism is that introducing what seems like more randomness into testing was like scary.
Yeah.
Because if you were to like use an LLM in the Maestro test, then I actually think it would have made things worse, not better. Mm-hmm. In this case, it's like a human is using your app because it's using vision to understand what's going on. I think the moment that I understood how you guys were doing it, and it wasn't just like injecting AI into each step, it was actually using an LLM the whole way with vision, was the moment that I realized that, I mean, it's like the new generation of testing. It's not like how everything has been done before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a way to, I guess a lot of people see non-determinism as just like a source of flakiness, but it can actually add a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, it adds like this robustness that I think it's hard when everybody is shilling their AI product, and it's really hard to understand like what's worth paying attention to, what isn't.
A lot of noise.
There's a lot of noise in that everyone's making a product with AI, and there's also noise in the sense that like some products are making AI first products, and then some companies are like putting AI into an existing product.
Slapping AI on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that part was a little difficult but like, I think the moment that we got the tests working and I got to see, I think actually the moment it clicked for me is when something wasn't in frame, and then I saw this thing scroll to find it, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Because it took us so long to write, actually we never did it. We never wrote the Maestro code to be able to scroll the bottom sheet up and find the thing.
Yeah.
I mentioned that, and then it just
how did you
it.
try to do that in Maestro?
I don't know, I wasn't the one doing it. I just know it took like almost a full day.
Yeah, yeah. We had the same experience when we were writing end-to-end tests in Flutter. It was like anytime you wanted to do something that wasn't like objective, just like a single doable through element IDs, like any weird sort of swiping or like gestures, it was just...
Gestures is really hard.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the main point for me. I mean, then you guys have all these other features, like the auto healing and the way like you can actually write the tests with that stuff. To me is really cool. That's not the selling point for me. The selling point is that it gets back to the original statement I made, which is that quote of like React testing library, you should test the app as a user would use it.
Yeah.
And like people have been artificially making these libraries that you can write assertions that are kind of like that, like in theory.
Yeah.
But this is actually doing that. This is the closest that you can get to like a human using it without a human actually using it. And I think realizing that we finally were able to go back full circle to like what I was trying to advocate for, of like test the app like a user would use it, and I can write instructions like I would tell someone in like a usability test. If I'm trying to figure out like, hey, use this app, do this task, like I can write the instructions just like that. I don't have to write code to do that.
Right.
You can write a little bit of code, which is nice.
Yeah.
And actually, this is something funny. I actually wrote a usability test just as a test. I was like, maybe I can actually do usability testing with Autosana as well.
Yeah.
And so I actually wrote a super high level test, and I gave it a single prompt, and I was like, figure out how to order, what the best thing to order is at a restaurant. And I said something along the lines of like, if it takes you a reasonable, I mean, it was a pretty shitty test, but I was like, if it takes you a reasonable amount of time to figure this out, and you don't get confused, then pass the test. If you found it confusing, then fail the test. Just like a user. Well, actually, I installed into context "Don't Make Me Think" by whatever Kruger. I forget his name. Donald Kruger, maybe. Doesn't matter.
Not sure.
It's a book about how to write good UX.
Okay.
A great book, actually. Don't Make Me Think. And so I put that into context, and I said, this is how you do usability testing. And I said, just like write some usability tests to figure out if it's easy to figure out how to order something. Is it easy to find our AI? And it ended up actually doing some really weird random shit that I was like, that technically actually is a way that you could figure this out, but it's not what I wanted you to do. But that's fair. That's what a human might do. It scrolled to a certain point and click something, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So you can do kind of interesting things in that matter as well, like usability testing.
Yeah. Did you Did you try assigning any sort of persona to the user, or did you just say like, do this thing?
Interesting. No, I didn't, but that would be an interesting thing to try out.
Yeah.
Have you guys messed around with usability testing?
We just bought a company that did that. So
Flex,
we're gonna be
okay, really
integrating some of their stuff into our code base soon.
Really cool.
It's not like it's not gonna be out like tomorrow, but it's gonna be like in the near future. It's on the thing is we're gonna be running some experiments on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's another book by the same guy that wrote Don't Make Me Think, and it's about how to conduct user interviews for usability testing. It's like Rocket Surgery Made Easy or something. I think that's what it's called, Rocket Surgery Made Easy.
I'm not familiar with this one either, but
that's fine. It's written by the same author.
Okay.
Yeah, you should check that out. It's actually, they're really small books. You should read it. Yeah.
I like small books.
Yeah, I like small books too. I think the best book is a small book. I think like these whole like Tale of Two Cities is too much.
Yeah, when they have to stretch it out to 500 pages to get published or whatever. I don't know what.
Dickens got paid by the word.
Did he?
Yeah, he got paid by the word. I was like, I'm not reading this shit. He got paid by the
It's
word.
so long now.
Exactly. I read a 2,000-page book.
Yeah, so you guys are testing nightly.
Nightly,
you have a build that happens every night, and it's automatically sent to our servers, right? You have like a GitHub Actions set up. Is that how you're doing this?
That stuff also all changed recently. We used to be all on EAS.
Right.
As of this morning, we're 100% not on EAS.
Really?
We're doing everything in Blacksmith now.
What prompted the switch? Was it speed? This is also an ad for Blacksmith now.
This is an ad for Blacksmith.
I'm put me on it.
Blacksmith is amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's cheaper than GitHub Action runtime, and it is faster than GitHub Action runtime. Are you guys not using it?
We're not.
Oh,
no,
you should
maybe you have to put us on it.
You should 100% get on it.
Yeah.
You can sponsor me, Blacksmith CEO.
Do they also do Mac runners? Like, can you build or are you still sending your builds to EAS at all?
No, the builds build in Blacksmith.
Nice. So you have a Mac runner in Blacksmith to build your iOS.
I think so. Yeah, I'd have to look into that.
Okay. No, I'm
Patrick set that up.
Yeah, no. People. I mean, like a huge pain point for a ton of customers is just like, dude, why does my build take an hour with EAS? And not just EAS, but like in any GitHub runners are even worse. Like they literally can take over an hour. So
the builds are like
maybe you can give the
builds are like. Well, we were also on the slower tier on EAS, and so we bumped that up, so it improved the speed.
Okay.
But then we moved to Blacksmith, and I think it's like significantly faster.
Yeah.
I would check that out.
Hey, we might have to put some more people on Blacksmith then.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for
cool.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you can cut down the build time, I mean that you can test like way more often, right? Like, hypothetically. I know you guys aren't right now, but
I wonder.
It become more feasible.
I mean, we push so many PRs every day. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, I think it would get expensive to do testing, but we might think about finding ways to run the tests more frequently. But I think right now it's actually working. Like, we're about to get the test stable because we just messed a bunch of stuff up, and so the tests are finally about to start passing. We've got like 3 bugs left. Then we're going to add another round of tests, and then I'm going to do probably what I did before with Maestro, where I had an all hands where everyone was writing tests.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it with Autosana.
That'll be fun.
And actually let people write tests in an easy way.
Maybe I'll have to come for that.
You should come for that. That would be awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
It'll be like a mini hackathon.
Yeah, it will be like
That'll
a mini
be really
hackathon.
fun.
Actually, that'd be amazing because then you can sit there and then you can see how people are doing it, where they get confused, and then we'll get more test coverage. All right.
Yeah.
That's a deal.
I'm down.
All right.
Let's do it.
That sounds great.
Sweet. If hypothetically speeding up build times could make running tests more frequently feasible.
It could. I don't know. I don't think we would do anything under 10 minutes. That's even 10 minutes is pretty slow. I don't think we'd do anything under 5 minutes, actually.
Wait, what do you mean under 5 minutes?
I think if...
Like you don't think that you could get under 5
No, I'm
minutes
saying I don't think we'd run the tests, like end-to-end process, like the PR was opened to like the tests have finished running, including the builds. I don't think we would do that unless we could get it under like 5 to 7 minutes.
Got it.
Because like, we push so hard to get them under 2 minutes, and like then to introduce something that would take like 10, 15 minutes, like no one's gonna wait for that.
Yeah. So you prefer to test like on your stage, is it your staging branch you're building the nightly build off of?
It builds staging, which is run off of, it's built off of main.
Right.
Whatever time, whatever main is pointing to at the time that it builds, it does that.
Okay.
The only difference in our app between production and staging is that staging points to the staging API and main points to the main API, or production points to the production API.
But are these tests are running before it's actually shipped off, right? Like deployed to the App Store?
No.
Oh, interesting.
They probably should be. Yeah.
That might be ideal.
But we started doing nightly releases as well.
Okay.
Which is why I was telling you we don't need to go down this path, because we ended up, that was just kind of, now we're doing it every 3 days, but I mean, we already, the answer is no, but kind of, because we're still running the tests every day. Mm-hmm. And so even if it doesn't time perfectly, like we still get a test run roughly around the time that we cut the production release.
Right.
So I think we just treat it as like, if tests are failing, then like, but it would be safer to be like, it's running exactly at the same commit hash that the build was put at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be safer.
Or to like, well, I guess do you end up, like if you have critical tests that are failing in that nightly build, are they, does that typically mean like, oh, that's already in prod, those bugs are already in prod by that point?
Honestly, we have mediocre test coverage, and we've been I've personally been increasing it a lot over the past like 2 weeks. Actually, on the flight back from Poland, I was on the plane, and I think I went from like 12 tests to like 25 tests or 30 tests or something like that. So we have a lot more now.
Cool.
And I just added like 7 more. So they haven't been around long enough for me to answer that question, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can tell you this last time we definitely had bugs in production.
Yeah.
I think we still do. Yeah.
We were talking before about a bunch of bugs that they found in the latest round of tests.
A lot of bugs.
Yeah. And also you mentioned Poland. For context, Tyler did a talk in Poland at the App.js conference. Mm-hmm. That was called "Why Your End-to-End Tests Are Lying to You."
Yeah, I gave the talk at App.js.
But I was telling Tyler that was his talk was like the best anybody has ever demoed our product, including our team. It was like really, really awesome. I showed my parents, everybody back home. No. Quite a few people saw the video and they're like, "This guy is awesome!" Like, I didn't know your product's so cool.
I sent it to my family too, and everyone is like, "I have no idea what this means, but
yeah,
I like your shirt." I was like, "Thank you, I appreciate that."
It was kind of a similar reaction. This guy is very articulate and good looking.
Nice, I'll take it.
And the product looks cool too. I don't know what it does, but
yeah, no, that was fun.
Yeah. So they had you originally as a side speaker, right? And you ended up on the main stage.
Yeah.
And at what point did you decide that this is what you were going to do your talk on?
I had some ideas floating around in the beginning. I actually submitted ideas for the actual conference because they invited me to talk, but I was like, I don't know if I have time to do this. And so I just threw out like 2 random ideas. Like one was about our CLI that we built. The other one was actually using the Maestro CLI to try to automate get a feedback loop when you're iterating with Claude, which I'm so glad that I didn't give that talk because I actually didn't even really do that. It was just coming up with shit out of thin air.
So I need something to talk about.
The CLI was cool, but like that also didn't seem that groundbreaking to give a talk about. And so I came back to the drawing board after they told me, hey, we had somebody drop out and we want to ask you to give a talk if you're open to it. And I was like, okay. I actually didn't find out until I gave my talk on Friday, and I didn't find out until Monday that I'd be talking at the conference. And I didn't have my slides finished until Friday morning. I was literally there doing my slides still, and the girl was putting makeup on me like 5 minutes before. I was like, she was like, "Can you put your computer away?" I was like, "No, my slides aren't done."
It's kind of more important than my makeup right now, right?
I can't do that. I was talking to Patrick, actually, and Patrick, one of our engineers, amazing engineer. It was his idea, actually. He was like, "What did you talk about Autosana?" I was like, he's like, "I think it's probably the thing that would be the most valuable for people to hear, and also the thing that people probably haven't heard of yet. And because everyone just uses Maestro, that's the default. And it's like the thing that's been the most valuable for us as a company." And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, I want to talk about something that we built, but then I'm like, you know what? No, that's stupid. We should just talk about what's been, like, what would be the most valuable thing to actually talk about. And I agreed with him, and I was like, this is the most valuable thing that I could put on people's radar. And so that's how we came to that conclusion. So you can thank Patrick, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah.
That's really sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the talk was absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you again on camera this time.
I also, just for context, I really appreciate the guys at Maestro, because I talked with the co-founder for a while and we were working, and he's a really nice guy. We ended up obviously dropping and joining you guys, but it was awkward because they were a sponsor of the conference.
Yeah.
The talk.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that.
Yeah, but whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Made amends.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you about how much like time you feel like you've saved per cycle, but I don't know if you feel like it's too early to gauge that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too early. I don't have numbers.
Yeah.
It's a lot, because now I can just go in and be like, here's a bug, here's a bug, here's a bug, and I can figure out if there's something wrong with the prompt, if there's something wrong with Autosana itself, or if there's something wrong with our app pretty quickly. And the great thing is that, well, Maestro was very responsive to like us reaching out to them. We didn't have a Slack channel with them. They're a big company.
Right.
And like I had a couple meetings with them, but to your guys' credit, not that you guys do this with every customer, or maybe you do, I don't know, but I can file something with you and it gets fixed very shortly after. And also I think you guys are appreciative because, like, you know, feedback is helpful. But we had an hour-long meeting with the Maestro guys, and I mean, they were very receptive, but also like, we're also not really a target for them. They want to be targeting bigger, more enterprise customers.
Yeah.
And they just, I mean, none of the stuff, one of the things got fixed. One of the issues, like there was a bug in their Cloud Runner that got fixed as a result of our meeting.
Yeah.
I think you guys have fixed like 50 things as a result of me posting feedback in the Slack channel.
Yeah.
So the feedback loop and the ability and just seeing things actually like progressing is really cool to see guys that are hungry and hustling and making shit happen.
Yeah. No, we told you we love the feedback. Just keep it coming.
Great, I will. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we try to do that as much as we can. And you know, we try to be extra receptive to the people who are, you know, super passionate about testing. Like we can tell there's certain customers like you guys who are like really, like you guys really care. Yeah. So anytime you guys are giving feedback, we're just like, you know, you'll call me, Tyler, just send something in the Slack, get on it. And I'm like, I'll light up. I'm like, I'm on it, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Fix is coming out tonight.
I feel like every other day that I post feedback, a new person gets added into the channel.
Yeah, we have been doing that too.
At this point, everybody knows.
We've been hiring. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we missed that we didn't talk about? Let me think about that. You actually don't need engineers writing these tests anymore. And it used to be that you needed that. In fact, I'd almost argue that sometimes product people are better at writing these tests than engineers. And a lot of people claim that you can have non-technical people writing these tests. It's just not true. People don't necessarily know what YAML is. Like, it's not the easiest thing in the world to just pick up. I mean, it's not hard, but it's not that easy. This is literally written instructions on how to use this app and how to test it. Once the engineers set up the infrastructure, as I said, of like provisioning the accounts, making sure that you can actually support this, like it's just a prerequisite to do any end-to-end testing. Once you have that set up, you really can have product people writing these tests and seeing the tests. And then, you know, if there's a failure, they can tell an engineer that it's failing and they can figure it out. But you really can have the product people writing these tests. So what we did is actually our head of product, John, he went and wrote a spreadsheet. There's about 250 lines of like, here's all the things that you can do in Gobi. And then he gave like low, medium, high of its importance to like our like users' ability to use the app. And so this is through a product lens, not an engineering lens of like what's important for us to be doing.
Right.
And so I took that spreadsheet and I actually I have a new column where I checked, is this tested or not? And I went through and I just made sure that all of the important flows are tested in our app. But like when we do our thing and you come in with donuts, like you're gonna teach John how to write a test.
Yeah.
And then it's off to the races because he doesn't need to put this in a spreadsheet. He can just put this directly in the prompt.
Right.
So we can capture user flows of like, what do we consider to be an important flow in our app? And we can have product people writing these tests.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing, actually.
Yeah. So you feel like the engineers just need to kind of build the infrastructure around the tests to begin with, like the CI/CD pipeline, the endpoints for provisioning accounts and stuff like that, and then from there, once you have that testing infrastructure, you can have basically anybody write tests. Is that a good way to kind of sum it up?
Yeah, it's not to say that, I mean, engineers also still should be writing tests as they're writing features. But you can have
people help out.
You can have people help out. I mean, I even wonder, I haven't thought about this, I even wonder if you could do TDD with Autosana.
I do it all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's sick.
That's actually really interesting.
Yeah, I'll just like run it locally. Like I'll just leave. Sorry for the self-promotion, guys. But I'll just like leave an agent like before I go to bed, and I'll be like, hey, hey Claude, I'm going to bed. Give me, do this whole. Implement this whole feature. I'll give it like the linear ticket link and test it end to end with Autosana. Take your time. I won't be here for 12 hours. I'll wake up and it'll have run for like 5 hours in a loop, and then it's just like
nice
90% there.
That's amazing.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, we have to try that out.
Yeah, you should try it.
We want to see how you guys are doing some of your local stuff, because we want to get Claude into more feedback loops. I guess to sum it up, why would you move from, well, in my talk that I was calling Gen 3 to Gen 4, Gen 4 being this new AI agentic focused testing? I think the reason is that you want to test the app as your user would use it. You don't want to write code to try to manufacture that. You want to actually do it. And this is the first time that we've gotten close to the ability, if not close, but actually there, in that we can actually have something that is able to pick up nuance. It's able to actually see an app and understand, not just like, if something changes, it'll pick that up. I said this in the beginning, but humans, in my talk, I said humans are the best. That's how it started, and that's how it continues to be. This is the best. It won't get replaced. But it's like this open question of like, can we get to a point that an agent could replace human testing? I still don't think we're 100% there, but I think we're really close to being there. There's some things that are still missing, which I was actually just talking to UV about.
Yeah.
There's so much more. I mean, honestly, one of the main things that you guys do that's really cool is actually like this like tertiary feature, which is the agent picks up these little things like, hey, it's not very intuitive that there isn't a button here. I don't know how to close this. The only way is if you click on this X button. Or, hey, there isn't really good contrast of this text on the white background.
Right.
And I didn't ask it to file that, but it tells me that there's like these accessibility issues. It tells me that there's these issues that I wasn't even trying to get it to test, and it's testing it.
Right, like flagging non-critical, like more subjective issues.
So I think the main takeaway here is that everybody claims in the previous generation of testing, everybody claims that they are testing like a human, and they're really not. And this is the first time that I actually believe that we're actually coming back full circle to being able to test an app like a human without a human.
Yeah. Quote that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Becks. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me, or I guess I'm having you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Nice.
Cool.